What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here, and today we're going to be talking about the Glock 43X/48. They're interchangeable simply because all the internals are the same. The only difference is the barrel and the slide. So you can literally swap slides on each of them, frames on each of them. You can have both firearms. If you have each upper, you can have both firearms. But before we get started, drop a like, drop a comment. I don't care if you put a thumbs up. Tell me what you carry today, what kind of holster, what kind of ammo. Put something in the comments. It really helps the channel. I put a lot of time and effort into these videos for you guys, so that would really be appreciated. Now, Glock 43X. Oh yeah, and before we get started, I'll list off the parts because I know you guys always are asking, and it's hard for me to get back to every comment. So we have a Shield Arms mag catch. That's because I have been running Shield Arms mags, but I don't carry this firearm. Handle it, Edge Series grips, Hooper Gunworks slide cut for an optic, Ameriglow sights, and an Invoke slide stop. Absolutely love this thing. It looks super cool, but it feels really good. Locks back really well. It just functions. And it's one guy who runs an awesome company, so shout out to Invoke. Now, like I said, I find it really interesting that people will trust their lives with aftermarket mags. We don't do this for all the other brands, right? It seems to be the only firearm that people do this for is the Glock 43X/48. I find that interesting. Now, I have a bunch of Gen 2 mags. I think I have 8 of them with thousands and thousands of rounds to them, not a single issue. My Gen 3 probably has about 600 rounds, 700 rounds, something like that, not a single issue. I did realize that this seems to fit better than the Gen 2s. Even though I've had no issues, this just had a stronger spring, and it doesn't wiggle as much, which we're going to get into. I'll show you both of them in the firearm, how they lock back, and different stuff that I've noticed. So far, the Micro Dagger mag has 100 rounds through it, not a single issue. This has the stiffest spring out of all of them. On top of that, it has the least amount of wiggling, which is definitely a good sign and definitely makes a lot of people feel more comfortable, right? But what's really interesting about this mag is you look at it from the front, you're like, oh, that's a Glock OEM mag. You look at it from the back, you're like, that's a Shield Arms mag. So they literally took the best of both worlds, right? The part that sits in your firearm and has to be at a certain height, which causes a lot of issues for a lot of firearms that do have issues, they made it similar to the OEM mag. But the part that when it comes to capacity, they left it just as metal, allowing for more rounds, right? So it's a good mixture between the two of them, and I like it so far. Now, obviously, this firearm's been cleared multiple times before the video, but of course, it is YouTube, so we have to do it, right? Gen 3 mag. A lot of wiggle, right? And that makes you a little nervous, but when it's loaded, it doesn't wiggle as much. Locks back. A good amount of pressure. What I did notice, though, is this spring has slowly gotten weaker and weaker. And if you've watched my Z9 videos, which are the Shield Arms mags for the Glock 43, all of mine failed. They all caused malfunctions, and the reason is the spring was just so weak, and it did it over the course of a month or two. So it would stay loaded, and then I'd go to the range again, and when I go to shoot, now all of a sudden I'm having malfunctions. And they even sent me replacement springs from Shield Arms. Same issue. Literally happened in the same time span. So I'd like to see this magazine with a little bit more time on it, as well as this while they're loaded. But I just showed you that. Here is the Micro Dagger mags from PSA, right? They don't wiggle as easy. You see that? Remember the last one was so much easier and much more play? Let's see how much pressure on the side. Really, definitely more pressure. So this spring is definitely stronger than the Shield Arms mags, right? And also, if you look right here, you can see minor differences, but there are differences. PSA is just one of those companies that I tend to want to say I trust more because they actually make firearms and stuff like that, where Shield Arms dabbles more in parts and stuff like that. I don't know. I think neither of these are your best choice for everyday carry, but what I also think is you shouldn't listen to every YouTube video. If your mag runs well, reliably, and for a good period of time, then I would say you can trust it. But when I carry the Glock 43X, which I have, and I've also taken it to defensive pistol classes and stuff like that, I kept an OEM mag in the firearm, and my backup mag was a Shield Arms mag, which I know sort of doesn't make sense because the reason you carry a backup mag is majority of the time going to be for malfunction clearing due to a bad mag. So it should sort of be reversed, but I trust that 10+1 more than anything, more than any Shield Arms mag, more than any Micro Dagger mag. But to be honest, guys, this may be the answer. This may be what puts the 43X so much more above every other firearm. I mean, the grip angle, the ergonomics, the shootability. I mean, this is almost the perfect carry firearm. Just if they had the capacity. And on top of that, I wish they made it like 10+1 right down here. And then you had a 15+1 mag with the mag sleeve or something. I thought that would be a really cool thing from Glock to do. It'd be a little out of their comfort zone, but I think that would be the ultimate firearm. The Glock 43X cut down to here, but you could still run that 15-round mag similar to like a Hellcat or something like that. That would have made it the ultimate. But we know they didn't do that, and they also didn't make a 15-round mag for it. So this is what you have, and I get why people carry with the shield arm mags, because this is one of the best defensive pistols in the world by far. It just, you know, with the X macro coming out and stuff like that, it just makes you wonder, Glock, why didn't you do that? But I love my 43X. Nothing but luck for me, I guess. I don't know what it is. I've talked to a lot of people, and they say all their mags have been reliable. Then I get some comments saying that they've had absolute disasters. I don't think it's human error on all of them, but I do think it's human error on some of them. With a high grip and getting this slide stop, I do think that adds to a lot of the problems. But at the same time, I think it's an aftermarket mag. And I think with the aftermarket mags, you cannot trust your life with it. But is this really an aftermarket mag? Because it basically runs in a Glock clone. So, I don't know. These are answers that I can't tell you. These are answers that you guys are going to have to go out and test yourself, because here's the thing. Only you can put rounds to your firearm with that magazine, right? My firearm specs may be all a little different, so they run it fine. Your specs may be a little off, so it only runs the OEM mags. It just is what it is, guys. But do I think the PSA Dagger mags stand a better chance? I do. It just fits so much better in the firearm. It just, you can tell. I mean, it really does not wiggle. I mean, it's just, it shot reliably for me. You can tell it was crafted to make sure they didn't have issues like the Shield Arms mags. But I'm going to keep you guys updated, and I do have a video coming soon. We're going to put 500 rounds through the 3 mags that I have. So I'm going to have to bring someone with me to keep loading those 3 mags over and over again. But we're going to put 500 rounds through it in one video and really test these micro Dagger mags. I don't know if you guys saw on the community page, I asked you guys, what do you want to see? What do you want to see me put 500 continuous rounds through in one session over and over again? And this was it. You guys wanted to see this combination right here. I think a lot of people just want answers to solve their, capacity situation. But I think 10+1 is more than enough to get you out of almost any situation, especially with a backup mag. But if yours runs, then trust it. It is what it is, right, guys? I appreciate it. Thanks for watching.